Hello and welcome to another episode of Creating Powerful Impact. I'm your host, Shay Wheat, founder of Grace and Ease Productions. And today I have an amazing woman who's with us because this is something that I absolutely have no clue how to do it. So I'm excited to kind of learn about her and her background and how she got started and how she's been doing this for nearly 20 years. But I've got the amazing Kristin Ostrander with us today, who is a dynamic Amazon selling mom who dedicates her energy to helping others start and scale businesses on Amazon. Like, how freaking cool is that? She has this signature wholesale bundle system. And like I said, she's been doing this for more than 17 years, been in the e-commerce and having e-commerce experience. She's fully equipped to teach the necessary skills online sellers need to take their businesses to a more advanced level. And with a unique wholesale bundle approach to Amazon that is backed by a proven wholesale bundle framework, get this, she's generated over $5 million in online sales. Freaking cool is that? I'm excited to have her on the stage. Please help me welcome Kristin to the Creating Powerful Impact stage. Hey, Kristin.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm excited because there's so many different things that we can talk about today. One, I have no clue what it entails and what it looks like to have an Amazon business and generate $5 million in sales. I'm sure there's a lot that goes into it in terms of how you set it up and what does it look like and how do you find a product and all of those things. So I would love to just kind of have maybe an overview of what an Amazon business is and what it looks like for those in our audience that are like, oh, you know what, I would like to have another revenue stream added to my book of business. So let's start there. What is it? What does it look like? What does it kind of entail?
So that's a huge question, but I will really try to summarize. So if you think you have a mom and pop store on Main Street, okay? So if you figure that, most people don't realize on Amazon, if you pick up your phone and you look at the last 10 things you bought, a lot of people just go, oh, add to cart, all done, buy it now, and you move on. 2 days later, it arrives at your door. Most people assume that Amazon, big bad, monopolizing Amazon is the one selling all those products, when in fact, I would gather, I don't know the exact statistic, but I think 75% or more of products that people buy every single day are sold by third-party sellers, which means small businesses like mine. So you've probably bought something from me from Amazon. If you've bought groceries, if you bought baby products, I sell a lot of different things. It's not really just about one brand and one product. We kind of have a mom and pop type store. It's just on Amazon. So a lot of people don't first realize that you can have a third party. You can be a small business within Amazon, and they are run by, I would say 75% or more of their business product sales come from third-party sellers. So that's just a little piece of information people don't realize. If you look on your Amazon, it says sold and shipped by Amazon, or it says sold by, Kristen's favorite things store or something. Like, a lot of people don't see the little fine print there, and they realize they're buying from me. And so thank you for those that are always shopping on Amazon and Amazon Prime. You are indeed supporting small businesses. And basically what it would look like is a similar way you would do wholesale. Is that you decide you want to start a store and you look for products that you want to sell that would do well in a market. Of course, I'm summarizing here. And then you just offer those products for sale on Amazon. The problem is my signature business model that I created was out of necessity, because with online fees and with shipping, it's not like someone's walking into your brick and mortar and buying something for $10 and all you have to do is pay your staff, right? Keep the lights on. There's Amazon fees, there's shipping, there's all kinds of storage fees and things like that. So because of that, selling single unit items, although can be profitable, is a little bit more like Walmart. Like, you have to sell a lot of product in order to kind of make ends meet, right? So I tried that, didn't really work out too well. And I'm thinking, well, how do I keep more meat on the bone for myself but still offer these? So I created what's called bundling, and bundling is like a kit or an accessory pack or like a spa gift set for women. So it's not advantageous to sell just one product with all the fees. I'll make some money, but it's like I have to sell thousands of these to make a decent living. And so I've created bundles so that I can sell less product for a lot more profit margin. And so I bundle products together. Think of like a beginner's guitar kit where the little kid wants a little guitar and a small amp and all these different things to kind of get started started, but you have to buy all those things separately online because it's really, you're not at the store picking it out, putting it in your cart. And so customers really like to pay with like one click, right? We all just want it to be fast and easy. And so creating bundles really helps customers kind of find all the things they want in one place, and it helps sellers to have a lot more profit. So that's kind of in a nutshell how that works.
That's wicked smart. That's really smart. Like, even if we were just to take that off of Amazon, where in our businesses could we bundle other things together and go, here's a package done for you, handled, done, right? God,
Absolutely.
That's just really wicked smart. I love that. Okay. So thank you for that piece of it. Now, that's on the Amazon world, and you've been doing this for a number of years.
20. This actually is my 20th anniversary year, 2023. So
20 years. Wow. Did you ever think you would be doing this 20 years later?
I know. As a matter of fact, like when I first started, I really was just starting to make ends meet. It was young high school sweethearts, and my husband is in commercial construction, and we're in Michigan, so the weather, it's just 50-50. So it's feast or famine, right? So sometimes he's working crazy hours and sometimes none. And so to stay together as a family and really wanted to bring some income in, but I wanted to raise my babies. And so I was like, how is it going to be? And buying 20 years ago, there wasn't anything. There wasn't Zoom, there wasn't Facebook, there wasn't digital Zooming, right? So there wasn't a lot of options, and there was some direct sales and some things like that you could kind of work from home, but there wasn't a lot of work from home opportunities. Now, eBay was there, right? And so I thought I've always been a frugal person, always been kind of, we didn't grow up with a lot of resources. And so always had to make all the ends meet together some way or another. I was very frugal and thrifty, and just turned that into, hey, I wonder if I could sell some of these foo-foo dresses that my daughter wears to church, that once or twice, and then she outgrows them, right? So that was the first thing I sold online. I sold some of my daughter's dresses on eBay that were basically like new with tags, right? And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a great way to make a little extra money. Well, before I was considering having to get a job because it was hard times, and I didn't want to separate myself with my children. So I just tried to make it work, and I had a real knack for it. And so I kind of started with the thrifting, then moved into more serious business when I realized there's really some potential here, and I can do it flexibly whenever I want to. Nap times, early evenings, early mornings, whatever I could do to snag a few hours at a time. And then I realized this isn't going to work like this forever. This was doing well, and what am I going to do next? So I had to really consider how I was going to scale up from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you've got a very successful business now. $5 million in sales you've generated throughout the years. How in the world have you gotten it to that point? Like, you now have a 7-figure business, and you've got like 4 team members. Like, how did you get there? Like, what worked? What didn't? What did you go, oh my God, are we going to make it through? Like,
oh my goodness.
Share with us a little bit of that downward part and where you are now and where you want to go.
So yeah, there's lots of ups and downs. Well, the first part of it was, I'd scaled, I had grown, I was doing it by myself. And then I decided to move over to Amazon. And what I realized there was much more potential there for selling everything. At the time, a lot of people, Amazon was a bookstore, and people were still buying a ton of books and used books. And I got my start doing that. And as they started to add more things and open it up for more retail type items, that really opened the floodgates for sellers back then. And so I was able to do what's called retail arbitrage. And I'd go around from store to store, places like Target, Best Buy, Walmart, grocery stores, Walgreens, things like that, and buy like clearance items or even non-clearance items because they were just selling for more on Amazon. For whatever reason, people were willing to have the 2-day free shipping. They don't have to shop. They don't have to go to the store. My cousin was even in a rural area, and he used to buy cereal on Amazon because it wasn't available in the one grocery store in the one horse town that he was in. He said, I'd have to drive an hour and a half to get Captain Crunch because they don't carry it here at this little rinky-dink store. And so that really turned on the lights in my head, thinking, wow, people are just like location or wherever it is that you might have limitations of going different places. Amazon is really helpful for that. And they want every product that they can possibly have listed in their store. So I took advantage of that and realized, wow, even cereal, even, here in the state of Michigan, we make Faygo pop soda, AKA for everyone else. Here in the Midwest, we're pop people, but either way, soda, right? Faygo. And if you move out of the area, you really can't get that nationwide. So I started offering that on Amazon, and you'd be surprised at how many people are buying 2 liters of soda from halfway around the country because that was their thing that they can't get in the local area. So I started to scale up from that. And I was working 60 to 80 hours a week. I was making good money, but realized quickly that like I can't burn the candle at both ends and still have the life I want. Yeah, the money's good, but I can't spend any of it because I'm too busy working. And I was like, this is not what we wanted. So what do we do next? So I started to really look for a way to scale where it wasn't going to be 60 hours a week. And my mom happened to want to join me at the time. I was actually shopping for a living at that time before I graduated into wholesale. And so she really wanted to join me. So I took on a partner. Of course, that was half of the money. So you have to take a pay cut. The downs go with the ups. If you want to do something you've never done and get somewhere you got to do things differently because the same thing is going to keep bringing you the same result. And so I thought, if I hire someone, if I have some help, what could we do together? So for about 3 months, I took a big pay cut. And that's kind of the down of scaling, is that you have to know the valleys come before the mountains. And so going into the valley of knowing, okay, I'm going to take a huge pay cut here for a temporary time, but what could we do together? And then within 3 months, we were both making enough money for her to quit her day job and for us to go full time into both doing it together. So part of the scaling was biting the bullet and hiring your first person to help you.
Gosh, yeah, it's so true. I know when I hired my first person, I was freaked out. I'm like, am I going to be able to pay them and still keep the lights on at my own place? And but in reality, they take things off of your plate, or it depends on what they're doing, right? So then it makes sense in the long term that it actually does help and support you, so you can focus on the next level and the next iteration of it. That's amazing. Now, what would you say to somebody like, oh, well, I guess my first question is, do you still house all of the products like in your house? Or do you put it in a storage unit, or do you do like drop shipment?
So let's talk about that, because that's a huge barrier for a lot of people. And we don't touch the inventory anymore. We don't have our own warehouse.
Kristen.
We don't have our own warehouse. We use what's called a third-party prep center. So the prep facility, so if I can summarize this now, what we do with our wholesale bundles, which is what we kind of explained earlier of our own particular business model. We, the best way to describe that too is like a subscription box, only it's not a subscription. We just offer the boxes evergreen on Amazon. So that's part of what we do with our wholesale bundles. So when we're choosing our products and curating our gift boxes or our kits or sets, we order all the products from all the different vendors. They're sent to our prep facility. They prepare our boxes and ship them off to Amazon fulfillment centers. So we do not touch our products. We do not ship products. And that was that was what got us from the 6 figures to the 7, is that when my mom and she came on in 2014, and we worked really hard and we changed our business model to what it is today with the wholesale bundles. And we were still doing all of the receiving, packing, and shipping at my home in my garage. We actually opened a wall and made some extra storage. And we realized quickly that we were growing so fast there that it wasn't going to last. We had to make choices. It was like, we either have to get our own facility and do all this and hire people and have all the overhead, or we have to figure out a plan B. And the plan B was that there are Amazon fulfillment centers out there, the prep facilities. Well, they will receive your inventory from, if you're importing or if it's stateside, and they will prepare it for Amazon. There's some preparation. Amazon requires you to label every item. So you can pick up something from your house that has Amazon on it. You're going to see a little white sticker on the back that has like a barcode. That's basically telling Amazon who to pay. And they're like, hey, this is my sticker, like pay me, right? So we have to label everything. And sometimes they come in a poly bag because they're on conveyors. So there's preparation of the inventory. That is the most daunting thing for me, stuff to do. So we outsourced that, and all of our stuff goes there. We do not touch inventory. We don't have to even manage customers. Amazon does all of that. They manage returns if anyone has any. So they take a lot of the customer service for the fees that they provide. It is a really good swap because we don't have overhead. We don't have staff to pay. And if someone doesn't show up at the warehouse, who's receiving? Like, receiving trucks come every day. And that's a hindrance. We wanted a lifestyle freedom, flexible kind of business. And as we were prepping in our house, we realized that is the biggest change we need to make in order to have a breakthrough, is what I really think. To really reach that 7 figures, you've got to do some hard things. You have to let go of some control. You have to realize that you cannot do it all by yourself, or even with just a couple people. You have to have significant processes and things in place that take you out of it. And that was the lesson I learned. That was difficult and hard to let go of that rope every little 2 seconds. But then it really was the tipping point to help us really reach our highest potential.
Now, my question next for you is, like, how do you do the marketing for your packages? Like, are you doing traditional marketing? Is all of the marketing done through Amazon? Are you doing like Pinterest and things, or?
So my system is, the way that I've taught people to do it is, Amazon has a very robust keyword algorithm. And there's a lot of software and tools that you can use to kind of decode what people are looking for. And we use a software system that really helps us. It's not super expensive, but it helps us derive the keywords that people are looking for. So it's kind of like reverse producting. In other words, you're looking at what are all the people really searching for right now, and can I fill the gaps with products? So because of the search that we're able to do, we don't have to do any advertising. Everyone's already shopping on Amazon. So if you have what they're looking for, and you have the right keywords and the right way to say, oh, I'm looking for Mother's Day gifts for mom, spa package or something like that, then your best keywords are ranking you up there. Of course, there's always ads that you can run, and you can run with like you said, marketing. It's not marketing like I'd love to do. And then some people that are building their own brands, they have Pinterest store, they have everything everywhere that are kind of driving all the traffic. But in reality, everybody's shopping on Amazon. So it's more difficult to set up your own Etsy store, or set up your own Shopify store, or have your own kind of off-site brand, when you know that the first place that 90% of Americans are going to shop is Amazon first. And so even if you have a store and you don't have an Amazon presence, I highly recommend that you do, because you're missing out on so many customers that they don't care that you have a website. They're like, are you on Amazon or not? Because that's click, buy, move on. And that we are in a one-click society now. People just don't want to have time to do all that. They know what they want. I want this, okay, here, and have it arrive at the door. And so if you're not on Amazon, you're really missing out on, 301 million Prime customers now.
Wow,
that's crazy. Globally, that's crazy. 301 million people have Amazon Prime.
Talk about go where your market is.
Exactly.
Where do they hang out? Go there, just be visible. That's amazing. Holy cow. There's so many different things that you've just already told us. And sadly, we have to wrap up. So I know our audience is probably going, wait, no, I have more questions. I want to dive into this a little bit more. Kristen, how did they stay in touch with you? How do they stay in touch with you on the Amazon side? And then I think you also have some gifts and things that people can also pick up.
Yes, so we do have a free training. So if you go to mommyincome.com/subscribe, you're going to get a free training. You can watch it on demand at your convenience and just see what we're about, see what it looks like for you to be able to do that. We show you a training of really what it looks like to sell on Amazon, all the different ways that are possible, and what we think is the best and the route to start. So whether you've sold nothing, or you've had a brand and you're considering busting into Amazon, or just something that you want, even as I started it as a side hustle. It wasn't a full-time gig at first. I moved into a full-time gig. So if you just want to learn more, we are Mommy Income everywhere on all the social channels, and mommyincome.com/subscribe will get you into getting connected with us and get you that free training.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Last question for you. What is a takeaway or memorable note that you would like to leave our audience with today?
Failure is better than regret. just try it. Just do it. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain by learning. I don't have a lot of regrets because I try a lot of things, but the ones I do is like, oh, I'd much rather have fallen on my face there than to not do it at all. So failure is better than regret.
Beautiful. Beautifully said. This has been like a super quick, like masterclass all on its own. Thank you so much for dropping all the diamonds that you did today. And I want to thank our audience for joining us on another episode of Creating Powerful Impact. I'm excited for you to really like go and take all of these lessons and look at it and see, if this is another resource for you in your business. Start implementing it so that you can create even more impact in your world. Until next time, have an outstanding rest of your day. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to the Creating Powerful Impact podcast. If you are a successful coach, speaker, author, or thought leader who would like to be on this program, simply visit creatingpowerfulimpact.com/guest. If you are someone who got something out of this interview, would you please do me a favor and share this episode on social media? Just do a quick screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend or post it on your socials. Also, if you know somebody that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag Creating Powerful Impact. I love seeing all of your posts and great guest selections. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content. To make sure you don't miss any episodes, go ahead and subscribe. Your thumbs up ratings and reviews go a long way to help promote the show, and they really mean a lot to me and my team. Want to know more about us? Head on over to our website, graceandeaseproductions.com, or follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. Just look for Grace and Ease Productions on your favorite platform. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.